Well, g'day everyone, and welcome to the afternoon show. Unfortunately, I can't really top that with those tunes and the beats there. But yeah, you're right, G. It does sort of remind me of Sonic the Hedgehog. Right, let's stop that ticker from going, and we'll get that going away. And thank you everyone for joining in. It's great to have you here. It's been a while, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to tune in and be with me on this live stream. We're going to have a bit of an update on a few things happening around the place. It's bloody hot. That's why I'm wearing a singlet, and I am sweating like you wouldn't believe. Just sitting here, the humidity's crazy. Thanks, Roger. Yes, we are in the round table, that's for sure. We are the Knights of the Round Table. Is that how it goes? If anybody remembers that. And Elk Creek Farm. Hey, Ryan. G'day, mate. Thanks for joining in. Yeah. Yeah, where are we? Yeah, tad warm. Yeah, tad warm to say the least. It's just, yeah, it's been bloody wet. We've had a lot of rain. The backyard is a quagmire, and it's just bloody terrible. It's a pain in the ass because you go to do something and it rains. You go to do something and it rains, and it just starts to dry up, and then we get rain again. Anyway, it is summertime. It is the wet season for us. Up north, in North Queensland, we've got a cyclone forming off the coast, and yeah, we're just waiting to see what happens. But I'm hoping that things are going to dry up here, and we can get a crack on getting a few things done around the house, because at the moment you go to do anything, you end up with mud and crap on your boots, and you just start dragging it everywhere. And it's not all like that. It's just certain places that hold a lot of moisture. We've got a couple of low-lying points that we've got to rectify and get tidied up and sorted out so it doesn't pool, as much as it is doing at the moment. But mind you, we've had a fair amount of rain, so all right. On the audio front, as some of you may have noticed, cool, man, go make some noodles. Are they ramen noodles? I hope you're listening, G. I'm sure they're ramen. But remember, I'm always listening. Yes, of course. Hope they're ramen noodles. They better be. Maybe you should do hot and wonder if they're hot and spicy. You going to do a review on that, G? Love to see you do a review. Watch your face blow up all nice and red. That'd be crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. G with the Mingoring. Oh, good old Mingoring. Oh, Maggie, 2-minute noodles. Are they really 2-minute noodles? Yeah, noodles challenge there. That's for sure, Roger. Absolutely right, mate. So yeah, on the audio side, I've now got the proud owner of the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone. So at the moment, I've got it set up in the going into the computer. So it comes in this nice little carry case, and inside there, if we can, let's add some light to the situation. I'm really professional. Here we go. As you can see there's the room. That's where they go. There's 2 microphones and 1 receiver. So the receiver is down, plugged in the computer, and one of the microphones is here. I can actually have 2 on at the same time, have both, or No need to lie, Miss Austin. It is what it is. The whole idea of getting this was to so I could use it doing live streams and get really good audio. Because as a lot of you know, I've talked about having good audio in your live streams, and hopefully I'm sounding okay here now. Um, you know, yeah. Well, thank you, Miss Austin. I really appreciate the feedback. That's absolutely wonderful. That's the whole idea. It needs to sound good. If you don't sound good, people are not going to watch. They're just going to tune out. It's something I've been very passionate about. Most of you know I've harped on it and shared links and done all that sort of stuff. And this is the first time testing this out in a live situation. However, when I've plugged it in to the iPhone, I've got the proper cord for the receiver to go from there to the iPhone. I can record fine, but when I launch Restream on here, I haven't tried any other platforms yet. It just doesn't want to pick it up. It just defaults to the iPhone microphone or something like that. So that's something I need to look into. I should probably contact. I did reach out to Restream, but I didn't quite get the answer I thought I would. I might have to explain myself a bit further. I've looked on YouTube to see what I can find, but nothing has sort of really come up to what I want. Yet a lot of people say live streaming with the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone. So I might reach out to Rode and just see what I can find out through them. It's been a busy week at work. I've been flat out. I've really done some Ks, miles recently. Let's extra training video story. Music. Nope. Let's get rid of that. Now, most of you have seen this. I shall bring up some photos from my adventures. We'll just cover that quickly. No, that's the wrong one. Searching maps, photos. Right, let's go there. All right, cool. Thank you, Miss Austin. I really appreciate that feedback. I can hook in. There's a lot of information out there on the Rode Wireless Go 2 setup. Rode has recently come out with the Rode Wireless Pro, which is another good product. There is a little bit of difference, but I'm no audio expert. There's plenty of other audio experts out there who do this sort of thing for a living. And there are other options out there, don't get me wrong. This is the one that I thought would work best for me after some research and so on and so forth. So the other day, where are we? Oh yeah, righto. I'll just bring up this photo. Okay, so let's go add a source. Now, most of you have probably seen this. Flick it in here. So this is at a sand plant at a place called Gympie, which is about 1 hour's drive north of where I am. We've currently got some machines up there. I've had to go up there and do some work, as in do some servicing and a few other things. It's paid off, excuse me, in terms of I've got to do something else, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's just go full screen, get me out of the site. And I'll zoom in even more over on the software. So one of our dozers, our D6R dozers, and one of the dump trucks tipping off its load. The dump trucks are then running back up what we call a haul road to the site where it's being excavated out. this work comes up every so often, and it's good money earner for us and for my company. That's for sure. Sometimes can create some um, um, create some problems, like all things. But that's the way it goes. And once again, I was back down the Port of Brisbane working on our dozer down there, which is on contract. I don't know who that fella is. Keeps popping up in all my photos. Um, yeah, had to go down, and this here on the dozer, this part here, hopefully you can see my cursor. Actually, I'll zoom in. I'll make that easy. I'll make life easy for me. Oh my God, you don't want to see that. Get that bloke out of the way. Um, this part here, this is what they call a final drive on a dozer, and it it's got a slight problem, so I've got to make sure the oil's kept up to that. So we've got a little bit of leaking oil out of there, and yeah. So oh God, look at this bloke. He just keeps creeping into the photo all the time. How terrible is that? Just got to get him out. Thanks, Roger. Get that off the screen. So we'll go back to another photo. Now, the Port of Brisbane is something I go down to pretty regularly. In the background, so this is a background photo I took while I was there. You can see one of the big ships. I think this one was because right beside where this wood chip gets loaded is the grain terminal. So it's quite possible this ship came in to load grain at the Port of Brisbane. And that's one of the excavators. It's a fairly small one. It's about a 20, fairly small ton, but a 22-ton excavator, which is, I think, about 22,000 pounds, I think, in the imperial system for Miss Austin. That's how much it weighs all up. The cargo ship in the background, I'm pretty sure, like I said, is for, it was there to load grain, because right next to this area we can see cars that are stored. There's a lot happens down the Port of Brisbane, or like any port. Let's get rid of that. And while I was up in Gympie, I got to do this. Very close to where we're working at Gympie, runs the Mary Valley Heritage Railway, and on a Wednesday they run a steam train, and I went to go see it at this one particular location. So I'll share that video now. I'll see how this will go full screen. Hopefully you're going to hear the audio as well. So hopefully you got to hear the audio, hopefully. If you didn't, let me know. There's another way we can source that, because I have uploaded this to YouTube. Obviously, you guys know my passion for trains and steam trains. It just worked in well that I was in the area and I could go see it, which was a plus. If any of you guys like to share what you've been up to during this week, you're most welcome to do so. We'll even put a link into G's live stream tonight, which hopefully most of us will be on there. Should be good. And what else have I been up to? Well, that's it. I've been doing a lot of driving with work, and it's just been a bit tiring, but anyway, rewarding at the same time. And yeah, I just thought I'd come on and do a bit of live streaming, do a bit of interaction with you guys. Appreciate you joining in, and I've really got not really prepared. I've just done once again. I've done off the cuff organisation, and there's not much to talk about except you know our friends and ourselves. And what am I rambling on about? Absolutely no idea. This is the nothing show. Like, see, I've got nothing to talk about. But that's glitching in the matrix there. Yeah, started out well, but I've almost flatlined. I've got nothing to talk about. Yes, I have. Always got something to talk about. Always got something to talk about. We might even have a little interlude. Now, I don't know if we're going to get a. Well, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so I've got copyright strikes before when I've played some music at the end, especially to do with the Blues Brothers ending. And I've got an email, and it actually says no action. So it's pretty. See, a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to the road, that when you do a search on YouTube, you've this has already been out for 2 years or so, so it's sort of old hat in some respects, and it yeah, well, 6 months ago. See, that's okay. So here's a video I'm going to share. Okay, so why haven't we got 1080p? There we go. So we're going to watch this guy's video, and I'm just going to talk about this for a while because I'm curious. I'm really interested to see what other people um, say about it, and hopefully we're going to learn something, and this might help. Well, it's going to help myself, and maybe it might help some others. Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss Austin. I didn't know there was a problem there. Let me just redo this. Then I'll redo it again. Um, Appreciate the input there. So why didn't that work? Has it worked any other time? Also share tab audio. Let's try this again. Righto. And let's go full screen.
You got your Rode Wireless Go 2, but here's how to quickly use it with your camera so you can get that crispy audio. Plus, get a tip on how to maximize your Rode Wireless Go 2. We've got 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, and we'll be connecting it to our Sony a6400. But you can use any camera that has a microphone jack, which
Hopefully you're getting the audio now, guys. If not, I'll start playing again.
is usually marked with a microphone, or is marked red like so. First, let's pair our transmitter or microphone and our receiver by turning on both at the same time. But they should already pair out of the box. So just press this button right here for the receiver, and then just press this button on the bottom for the microphone or transmitter. So now this is popped up, and now the blue lights over here are lighting up, and you can see they're both steady. Over here is the battery, and over here is the connection. As you can see, it's solid. And as you can see here, the receiver is active and we're picking up the levels from the transmitter or the microphone. Next, let's connect the receiver to the camera with the aux cord. So for the receiver, we'll go ahead and plug in the aux cord over here. Then we'll just go ahead and pinch this so that it opens up and just slide it right into the hot shoe. Just like so. Then we'll open up this door here and plug it into the microphone jack right below. Now we'll confirm the connection by talking to the transmitter. Mic test, 1, 2, 3. Looking at the levels, it appears to be connected, but just because it's connected doesn't mean it sounds good. So we'll go into the microphone settings of our camera. For the Sony a6400, it's on the second tab, and it's also going to be on the second page out of 9. You go down here, make sure audio recording is on, and audio recording level is set to 1. This way we get the best audio from the wireless microphones without any additional noise from the camera itself. And we can just go ahead and hit OK and exit. After that, let's go back to our wireless receiver, and I want to set the levels to -12 dB with this one button right here. So when we go ahead and lay this down, nice. Okay, so with that one button, I'm just gonna go ahead and click this. As you can see here, it says -6 dB, but I want it to be -12. It's at -3, 0, -30, -27, -24, -21, -18, -15, and -12. This is the level that I keep it at for a normal speaking tone. For our next mic test, I'm going to go ahead and clip this transmitter to the collar of my shirt as if this were going to be for an actual shoot, and I didn't have any lavalier microphones. Now I would talk normally to have a better idea of what the audio would sound like because I won't be holding it in my hand, as you see. If you look at the levels and they look too low for a normal speaking voice, then I may set it to -6 dB, or make it 0 dB to make it even louder. This is what it looks like on the receiver when I'm speaking with a normal tone. And then this is what it looks like on the camera when I'm speaking in a normal tone. Now that the levels look good, let's go ahead and confirm the sound quality by hitting record and then reviewing what it sounds like. We are now recording, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Also leave some room for silence so you can catch some room tone. Because the Sony a6400 doesn't have a headphone jack, we actually have to rely on the camera speakers itself. Otherwise, we just have to go ahead and take our SD card and plug into a computer and listen to the footage from there. So for now, let's just go ahead and look at the playback, bring up that volume as high as we can. Yeah, I can hear my annoying voice, but the audio is clear. Also, another thing to note is that when you are recording, make sure that your levels are not peaking, hitting the max level. See, right now when you look at the camera, the levels are not hitting all the way to the right. They're staying relatively in the middle. But you see, if I speak directly into the microphone and very close, then you can see my levels start to spike a little bit higher. And of course, if I were to change the decibels to something even lower, that would even max out and actually peak. It would hit the max levels and I would have some very cruddy audio. So ideally, you'd like to test normal speaking voice and keep it right there in the middle. If not, just a little bit lower. You could always bring it up a little bit in post. But before you go off shooting your next project, keep in mind that when your audio looks like this on the receiver, one microphone is actually being recorded for one ear or for one side. whereas the other microphone as well will be recording for the other ear. In other words, you won't be hearing in stereo, and you won't be recording in stereo. So to combine both, press and hold these two buttons right here at the bottom. And now, instead of the number 1 popping up there, there's no number there. And even when I go ahead and turn this second microphone on, here it is, powered on. Now we have both microphones, and now they're both combined. So now we can hear and also record in stereo. There you go, stereo sound. Now we've successfully connected both transmitters to the camera, or at least to the receiver that plugs into the camera, tested the sound quality, and made the edit easier for later. But just in case one of the transmitters may actually go bad, you want to keep your tracks separate, left and right, and then combine them in post and video editing software, which I teach you over here.
Righto, so there we go. There's a bit of information for those who are going to go down this track. It's certainly something I've got to look into much further. Obviously this is just one. I have two. The whole idea is that I can have two. I've seen people who do use both. Where are we going here? Let's get organised, Mark. I've seen thanks, G. Not quite. I was just showing a video for those interested in the Rode Wireless Go 2. Or anyway, no, I'm not quite turning Japanese as some people might think. And look, I'm not going to lie, it's absolutely bloody hot and humid here, and I'm just melting. I really need to get the big fan and crank it up and start plugging some air through. I probably should do that, actually, just to help cool the place. It's one thing to... You can see how out of practice I am. I haven't done this in ages, that I just lose my train of thought so easy. Normally, I'm going pretty well, but I need to get back into the swing of things. I've been a bit slack over Christmas, like most of us, maybe, or some of us, and I've let things go, and I haven't been doing much because nothing's been happening with the shed, but that's all changing. The shed is happening. We are expecting delivery of the shed kit on the 12th of February. So almost a month away, but that'll go real quick. And then there'll be a date set so it can be assembled or erected, and I'll be able to show what's happening there. I will be showing what's happening, and it's just going to be great. Going to be really, really good. Okay, Ryan's phone cut off the TV, and I started scrambling trying to turn the volume on my iPad to hear the Asian. I'm quite happy to show that guy's video or send you a link if you like, Miss Austin. Videos like that are short and to the point are really good. Some people do they'll do an hour-long thing, and it's crazy. It just doesn't work. There's a lot of good information, but sometimes an hour is just too long. So a short 5 or 6 minute sort of video is really great. In fact, what I'm going to do is put in a see if we can find a short video here, something a bit longer than we're going to. No, let's go back. Something that a little interlude while I go set up the, and of course, um, So I'm just going to play a video here as an interlude. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Miss Austin. We do learn something new every day, and even YouTube is really starting to change things. If you click on the live stream for YouTube, they've got some good things going on there in terms of doing live streams from the various platforms. Yeah, maybe I should have something behind me, something a bit better. I'm just going to play this video. It's moving a steamroller, and while I play it, I'm going to go set up this fan. I'm just melting, guys. I'm sorry. I need to step away, and so I apologise for doing this, but I absolutely have to. So enjoy this while I'm away, and I'll go full screen, mute. Right, I'll just the voice from behind. Hang on a second, guys. There we go. I'll just explain what was going on there. Actually, let's go back in. Then, obviously, when an engine like this has been worked on, it's not in steam, so therefore it can't move itself. Also, a lot of the components that are part of the motion or the engine are not there, so it can't move itself. A tractor or something like that is used to move it around. I've done this myself, not with the tractor, but with a forklift. I should actually show that video from way back, and it just makes life easier. And if you've got to move it, you've got to move it. So this is almost done, and we'll come back.
Yeah, go on, keep going, yeah. Keep going, 3, 4, 4.
Righto. Well, there you go. Hopefully, I've got the big fan on in the background. Hopefully, it's not picking up the noise of the fan with the new microphone setup. But there you go. That's what happens when you need to move things around. One thing I was going to do. Now, I've seen a few people create a poll on community and yeah, Mrs. Austin, you're pretty well right. Absolutely right. And whether that's our pets or family or our house or something like that, it certainly does. So I'm just going to create a poll on in YouTube and see if it's going. Um, so I just now and we'll put yes. So you can do this in the community tab on YouTube. Actually, I'll share the screen and you can see me do it in real time. And I'll go full screen. And you should, there it is there. If you go on the YouTube page, you can. It's a good way to interact with your community, as in your subscribers. You can yes and I go no. I will watch a replay. Reply, replay. Would help if I can spell properly. Now, yes. replay, and you're limited on your characters 65, which is pretty good. And I should put a link. I really should put a link into the live stream right now. Oh, and of course, I'm just going to go out of that page. Oh, you silly buffer. That's what you do. Okay. Go into a new tab. This is all highly exciting, folks. And we'll go to live. Click on there. And we'll get that. We'll take that link from there. Close that. Question mark. And I'll paste the link. That's the link. I go yes. And you go no. So this is something fun you can do with your. I've been using that a bit lately, and I'm going to post that. Now, I'm hoping. I've seen other people it comes up in their chats, but that's probably only for people who are over 500 subscribers can do that. I think G, you can do that with yours. You can do a text poll. You can do image poll. You can post image or quiz. The quiz is interesting. Haven't tried that yet. Video. Oh. And we've got a special guest who's decided to pop in. And I'd like to thank him very much. So let me get rid of this because you can see that I'm struggling. I'm not really. I'm just going with the flow. And I'll bring our favourite Hyper Sapien in. Hello, G.
Well, you said special, maybe special needs.
How you going?
Yeah, not too bad.
Thanks for coming in. I wasn't expecting this at all. I do appreciate you joining me. You said you were doing stuff, and I didn't expect you to come in. And I'm just having a good time here, winging it around. So, can you hear the noise of the fan in the background at all?
Well, I've got the fan on myself, but I could hear it a little bit, but it doesn't drown you out, and I think.
Right, I'm going to move it. Probably can hear it now because I'm so close to it. Here I am. I'm coming back. No, the matrix is not glitching. Yeah, it blows a nice breeze, but geez, it's loud. And I've got these turned up pretty well, so we'll get there. So it's just so bloody humid up here. It's not funny. I don't know what it's like for you guys.
Yeah, it's not really hasn't been humid for the last few days, but the heat is definitely popped up. It's definitely feeling like summer now. It's 35, but 34. We have the aircon on, so it's obviously not really that inside the house. But
yeah,
39 on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah, we got we got go away fly. We got scattered showers at the moment, and it's come on, Face ID. It's like
that's what's obviously causing the humidity, the bit of wetness, the bit of rain or whatever.
Yeah, it's 30 degrees right now, and it feels like it's got that feels like it's 34 degrees. Humidity is 65%. So.
Yeah, the humidity's 19 here, but I don't like it when it's humid because you sort of the perspiration or the humidity is making you feel like you're you just got out of the shower, but then it's hot as well, so you're sort of sweating as well.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's not a nice feeling. I'd rather it be just dry heat, so you actually can feel the heat, but not all the rest of the humidity or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. So how you been? It's obviously been a while since you've done a live stream. You got one planned tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, I've just been like I've like you can probably see, I've moved around my desk and setup. It's not how I wanted it. It's not how I sort of planned. That's part reason as well. I didn't live stream. I wanted to sort out my area before I did my live stream. I've done a couple of pre-recorded videos where this is the background now. But yeah, it's part reason why I haven't really streamed. But then I thought, oh, it's not how I want it. I may as well just start getting back into recording content and doing live streams and just work with what I've got and just like if you look to this side, there's a right mess at the moment because I've just that's where a lot of the stuff is. Just been doing a lot of sort of sorting through stuff, throwing stuff out, a bit of tidying up and stuff around the house. And yeah, I've started my commission this week. I did do a little bit over sort of the Christmas New Year period, but it was just sort of the boring stuff, putting dirt on bases and the rest of it. But yeah, I just got, I don't know, I was talking to Miss Austin and obviously you and Roger in the group chat and stuff, and hadn't really done the live stream. I thought I'd just jump into it, do it this weekend, see how we go. I don't know if I'll do Monday. I might keep it just to the weekend for now,
yep.
but then I wouldn't mind getting back into doing it regularly, like you was mentioning before.
Mm.
You know, even documenting some of this hobby stuff, sort of doing lives give me a bit of an excuse. So, I mean, if I'm sitting at the desk just painting and just doing my own stuff, I could just throw on a live stream and have a chat to whoever's on there. You know, it's not
That
much different than just sitting there by myself doing it.
that is something that I personally would be interested to see because I'd like
Mm,
to see your technique and what you do. It's something I'm definitely going to be doing when the new shed goes up. So,
yeah,
which I can't wait for. It's about 4 weeks away now when the new shed arrives, and then there's erection time or time to put the building up. That'll
mm,
probably take a few days because it's a pretty big shed, and of course that's also going to be dependent on the weather as well. So,
yeah,
and definitely, once that happens, I'm going to be doing more live streams. Um, I really have been slack, just not doing anything at all because Christmas period, getting back in this swing of work, just being a bit bummed out, a bit, uh, you know, um, not just I suppose bummed out because of the rain. Like I said, as I said
yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
it rains and then it clears up, and then we get more rain, and then it clears up, and we get more rain, and then and you get rain on top of rain on top of rain, and that's why the backyard is just so sodden. It's just crazy.
See,
Um,
over Christmas we had like high humidity, and I sprayed one of these, but it's been so weird in Adelaide lately. Well, around Christmas time, we was getting sort of every season in one day almost.
yep.
But when the humidity came out of nowhere, I sprayed one of these models, and it left a bit of texture on there because the when the paint and the humidity catches the paint, it leaves a bit of texture, and you don't realize it until the model's dry, and it leaves a bit of a rough texture on the model. So I had
Mm,
to strip it with this somewhere around here, this paint stripper. You can use other ways of doing it. So I had to use paint stripper, strip it back down to the plastic, and then respray it and stuff again because I didn't want to give the person that's paying for this, like a crappy job. And
yep.
when I wasn't happy with it, so I didn't want to give that to someone else as well. But
Well, that's right. If you're not happy with it, then how do you
someone,
expect your customer to be happy with it?
yeah,
And
yeah,
just to Miss
exactly,
Austin's comment there, you're absolutely right. The wife and I really, we've only watched the TV very, very minimal amount. We'll, like at dinner time, I'll sit down, I'll put an episode on of Futurama and watch
Yeah,
that. And then I go back onto the computer and just been watching stuff on YouTube, especially a lot of these videos on the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone, just to find out all the nuts and bolts before I committed to buying one. And once again, it's secondhand. Um, I probably could have gone brand new, but secondhand was a pretty damn good deal. I've only had to buy one cable for it, and that's the cable to go into the iPhone. And
yeah,
like I said, um, I can record. If I do a recording, works great. If I want to go live, it's not picking it up for some reason. It's not showing as a choice in the audio like it does here on the computer. So I'm just not sure what's going on there. But anyway, I think I've made the right decision. Um, yeah, and obviously the idea of this is for when I'm doing um, something on the steamroller where I might be away from the computer. Oh, and G's just stepped out for a bit.
you should be able to
Or
still hear me.
yeah, mate, yeah. Um, so when I'm working on the steamroller, I'll be able to, or doing something in my shed. If I'm live streaming, which I plan to do a fair bit of, maybe I might going to be doing too much. I plan to have this on with me so that I can talk to people at the same time, or at least describe what I'm doing. A lot of
Yeah,
videos I've seen where people are doing things like this, like what I'm talking about. They're too far away from the microphone, or you'll get a lot of noise. You'll more than likely get a lot of noise from the machine that's
yeah.
doing something. So there's going to be a lot of experimenting going on, and hopefully it's going to work the way I want. It's either going to work or it won't. I might fail somewhere. I might pick it up. Oh my god! And
So yeah, I've got this little microphone. It's a cheapy one, but I
yeah,
probably will upgrade to something more better like you've got. But this is just another little one. It was just when I've done some videos out and about, I've put it on. It's a bit of noise cancellation, and
yeah.
obviously it's going to help with the audio a little bit. But
Well,
haven't used it
funny.
too much.
Have you
Uh,
used? Funny you should mention that because I've got that same one for the iPhone, and for whatever reason, once again, I couldn't get it to work. Did you get yours to work all right, or you haven't tried it much?
yeah, so they just had to set it up through Bluetooth and obviously enable it that way. And yeah, just it plugs into the bottom of the phone, and then
Yep.
you get the little microphone that you attach to yourself. Yeah, I got it to work. It just was okay. It's nothing too special, but haven't used it enough really, I guess, to give a like. I mean, $20, you can't go wrong though.
No, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. And I mean, previously, I've got the.
yeah,
I mean, they've done their job, and I've also got the wireless version, but the left hand AirPod is not working now. I think it's got a problem. And which is not surprised because I carry it around in my pocket. It probably it's picked up a lot of dirt and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
you know, you got to expect something's going to give. When it's not made
mm,
for the stuff that I'm doing. I'm got a grinder out. I'm doing something. But yeah. So look, all we can do is try these things, and plenty of other people have done it, but it's all well and good to do these things, but until you get it in your hands yourself and try it, everyone can sit behind a microphone and go, "Oh yes, I've got one of these. It works perfectly." Blah 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 blah.
yeah, yeah,
And you know, it's when I watch someone, I'm more interested in their setup. What are they got set up? You know, how, and a lot of these guys. Um, you look at their views and they're big audio, they're into that sort of thing. So they've got, the Rode microphone, the Rodecaster Pro, which is, I've learned so much about audio side of things recently. It's not just plugging in a microphone. it goes through an amplifier or what they call a preamp, and the preamp
Yeah,
does some amazing stuff to get this really nice audio that we hear when these YouTubers are doing stuff. You know, they've got the great setup, but us people like yourself and I, we start out small. We use what we got, you know, and we slowly go from there. That's why I committed to this. Um, oh, Roger, good on you, Roger. Thanks, mate, for the compliment. A couple of legends.
yeah.
That's
See, when I used to,
coming
yeah, go
from the
on, Mark.
king. Sorry, coming from the king pirate himself, which he needs to make an
Yeah, he's the
appearance
king
on
of
screen.
kings,
He is the king of kings. Yeah.
uh, king of the hill, or king of the round table. But yeah, but yeah, I used to do music back in the day with people, and unfortunately, like I stopped doing it, but I didn't learn as much as I would have liked to when it comes to the audio stuff. But yeah, we used an M box for the mic. The microphone went through like an M box, and that, like you were saying, really did something to the sound to make it sound a lot better. So
Yeah, Miss Austin's just saying that. Um, uh, yeah, I've seen, but she's also said I'm not worried I might grab the wrong type of input converter for my mic setup. Yeah, and that's why. Um, oh, I just drawn a blank. Rode once again. Rode has come out with a what they call it. They call it the Duo. I'll bring it up and show a video of it, and it's designed for. Uh, Actually, Miss Austin, I will bring it up in a second, but it's designed for people like myself, you, G, people who are going to do this sort of thing, um, to get up and going easily. And I think in America they retail for about $3.99, maybe a little bit cheaper.
mm,
And it's basically got a bunch of inputs. Um, you can have the XLR, which there's another thing I've learned, the type of input. You know, now Miss Austin will probably know that the microphone she uses has a connection called XLR, where a lot of us are used to either the 1/8 or the quarter input on our headsets, microphones, whatever. This has been done through USB, the receiver, and you
yeah.
know it's there is a lot. Well, that's up to you, Miss Austin, because what can happen is you can with these setups you can control control your voice a little bit to help get the tone you want. So it's all relative. I'll show a video. Um, Yeah, Roger, it is a little bit technical, especially when you first start out and when you first dive into it. But after watching many a video, if I look back in my history, all I've done is watch videos on podcasting and
Yeah.
mics and all that sort of stuff. So the more you do it, the better or the more you look into it, the more you understand it. And talking to other people, um, you know, you get to understand what's going on. And I've got to say, gee, you're actually sounding a lot better. You sound much better than what you had previously. Have you done something different?
I just took a few throat lozenges before I come on, just to, just to clear it. No, I'm using my old headset as well. I've got my upper one charging, the old Sony. I haven't really played around with settings or whatever at all. So yeah, these are fairly cheap, like anywhere between $60 to $100. These Sony headsets that I've got, and I'm quite happy with them. But like we're saying, I wouldn't mind upgrading as I go along. I mean, who wouldn't like to have one of these amazing setups? I'd love to have just a studio that some of these people have where they could just go and do what they want. But that's their job, and we're just sort of trying to have fun with it, but also just give people a good experience as well.
Yeah,
Comes to
and
audio and.
look, I don't consider myself an expert or anything like that. I have just, dived into this, and you like I said, to to hang on, no, let's find that's the duo. Streamer X. That's it. That's what I'm looking at. The road. You might hear some sirens in the background. So this is a 10-minute video, which here they come. This is a video which I'll share for everyone to watch, and this might help. I'll stop it in between. I'm probably not. I won't go too much longer because I know you're doing stuff, G, and I do appreciate your time here. If you want to put your links in for tonight's show, go for it. Looking forward to that. And wow, thank you, Miss Austin. I didn't know how much of that you'd hear. Yeah, look, at the moment, what you can't see. I'm just I'm at home here. I've got all the windows open. It's just bloody hot. In fact, I'll show you. I'll turn the virtual background off. I'll show you. This is home. This is what you don't see. And gee, I'm just going to just pop you out for a second, just so we can go full screen. So this is it, folks. That's the bathroom in there. It's a bloody mess. Right here, that's where I have the drawings for the steamroller. That might eventually go up. I'll show you the big fan. You'll hear a lot of noise. Oh no, here's the big fan. That's my biggest fan. Blowing out nice. And the window right there, obviously, this is home. It's nothing perfect, you know. I'll turn the let's go. I think I'll just show there we go. That's the shed. That's the shed that was. There we go. That's the shed that was, and the blue lines are on the ground there. Yeah. And I'll bring G back in. Thanks, G.
So I remember you showed us that big fan before because we were laughing about it, and you have to keep the spaceship cool down, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll show this Streamer X, and I don't know whether I'll purchase it or not. It's only a fairly new product, but for a lot of people, it's probably going to solve a lot of problems. And for Mrs. Austin, you might want to consider this. It looks like it's got some good features, especially with what you can do, how versatile, and what you can actually plug into it. So this might be an option. So I'll bring this. I'll bring this up, and we'll just watch this video. I might just pause it every so often to do a bit of commentary on it. And G and I will be in the background. I'll go full. Well, sorry, folks.
Though its very existence. This is a unique product. It's the very first of its kind, though its very existence makes me wonder why it hasn't been done before. It is a simple yet elegant solution to a problem that many didn't even know existed, and it does the very thing that Rode does best. It simplifies the content creation process for those of us that don't have the time for the learning curve. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Rode Streamer X. This thing feels like it's built to the same standard as the Rodecaster Pro 2. All the things feel all the same. The smart pads, the knobs, the inputs, nothing here feels cheap. The unit itself isn't overly light for its size either. Even the mic preamp is the same as the Rodecaster Pro 2. On top of the unit, you have those two knobs that control the microphone and headphone operation. Really love the metering on these things. To a point, it's granular, but not an eyesore. It is a nice touch. Now, both have push-button operation. On the mic side, pushing it selects the type of input you want to control, while the headphone side just mutes the signal. And below that, you have these two pads for controlling your output. The mic side cuts the mic feed at a push, and the video pad cuts the video feed. And if you're familiar with Rode products, you will know what is on the right side of this unit. These are smart pads, and they're more than just trigger pads for fun sound effects, though they do that as well.
I am your father.
Luke, I am your father. How about ASMR like this? What do you think? Could I sell it?
These things do a whole bunch of cool things and can also be programmed to integrate with OBS. Now, on the rear of the unit, your I/O is pretty straightforward. You have secondary power in. Yes, this thing is bus powered and it will work perfectly fine off the USB of your computer. But if you're using this with any mobile devices, you'll need that power supply. Again, like the Rodecaster Pro 2, you have two input options for two computers, or a computer and USB mic, or whatever else you can dream up for input 2. Then you have the HDMI in and through. Now, the through option allows you to have a video monitoring device set up, or go to a TV so you can actually see the game you're playing. Now, right beside that, you have the headphone output, as well as the headphone mic input. And of course, you have the XLR input and the phantom power switch right beside that. Lastly, and another small touch that I absolutely love, on the back side of the unit you have a 1/4-inch mount so you can have this thing on a boom arm or some kind of stand. I really like that a lot, and I think this needs to become a common feature on more interfaces. Let's start with the video specs. Now, the input and pass-through are both HDMI 2.0, and that does matter if you want to stream 4K 30. It also captures at 1440 at 60 frames per second, 1080 at 120 frames per second, and 1080 at 60 FPS with HDR. I should also mention that you can do 4K 60 HDR pass-through with this unit. As for the audio inputs, you have a combo jack that is for a mic or instrument, a wireless receiver, and of course the audio that's coming over the HDMI. All of which have a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The rest of the audio specs are ripped straight from the Rodecaster Pro 2, like the 113 dB of dynamic range and the EIN of neg 131 dBVA weighted. You also have that 76 dB of gain range. Oh, and by the way, it's 24-bit and 48 kHz. And for those of you that are curious, this unit has 2 gigs of internal storage for those smart pads. So first off,
Right, I'll just stop that there for a second. I'll bring this back to me. It's all about me, of course. A lot of this stuff in there that he's talking about is going straight over my head. Those of you who are into an audio setup, or maybe Miss Austin, you're probably understanding what this guy's talking about. But it certainly looks like this little box packs a punch, and what you can do with it. There's also they'll probably talk about it later. Yeah, I bet you that stinking cables are worth the money too. There's where was I going with this? Like anything, you either decide to do it or not. It'd be great to get your hands on it, and I'm sure somewhere or other you'd be able to do a demonstration, maybe in a music store or maybe an audio store, a video store or something like that. It would be great to see. But do you go down this road and get one of those, or do you get something else? Yeah, well, like I said, Ms. Austin, a lot of it just goes straight over my head. So, at least we either learn something or we don't. So we'll go back to this video now.
First off, when you get this thing, you're going to have to download the latest version of Rode Central. Then, it might prompt you to update the firmware on the unit. Now, it's a pretty quick process, and I had this thing up and running in minutes. Now, one thing I will have to say is you need to make sure you're using the cables you have for this thing, specifically the cable that comes with the unit that plugs into your computer. For me, because my computer is a bit crap, I needed to source a Type-C to Type-A cable that was USB 3.0. Now, personally, I would love if Rode could include one of those for the people like me who don't have Type-C connectivity on their computer. Now, I do have Type-C on my laptop, but it's frustratingly not fast enough for this interface. And the other cable you need to make sure you have is an HDMI 2.0 cable if you want that 4K support. These cables are not all the same. You do have to remember that. And if you bought a cheap one off Amazon, it might be HDMI 1.4, and that won't work for 4K. So just keep that in mind. From here on out, it's a pretty basic setup. The Rode Central app is about as straightforward as it gets. Now make sure you have the right input selected on the Streamer X, and you will notice all the options in here. You can apply the effects here as well, and basically this thing kind of turns into a virtual Rodecaster Pro 2. I should also point out that the effects are rendered through DSP processing that's on the unit, meaning you won't be dealing with latency or any kind of slowdowns due to the application of those effects. Now, the video source also just shows up on OBS too, so when you go into the program and select your video source, it's right there. I had zero issues whatsoever. And that is all you need to get the built-in functionality out of this unit. Just Rode Central. Though if you do want more power than that, you can also use this in conjunction with Unify, so you get all the routing and all the other goodies that come along with that. Now, if you're interested in how that would work, I'm planning another video with some cool things that you can do with Unify and Streamer X, so get subscribed so you don't miss a thing. And by the way, for you Mac users, don't worry, I have confirmation that a version of Unify for Mac is coming out shortly after this thing launches. Now, that is the beauty of this ecosystem that Rode has been building out. There's so much more than just an interface with a capture card included. But as always, sometimes it makes you question, could there be more? Now, I want you to not get me wrong here. This thing is going to fulfill the needs of most streamers. But I do think there is a bit of proof of concept thing here for Rode. They've always taken feedback and improved their devices, and when that reaches its peaks, they release a second edition like they did with the Rodecaster Pro 2. And I don't think this is going to be any different. By the way, if you have any recommendations or things you want to see, make sure you leave that stuff below. They're probably watching this video along with you and reading the comments, so now's your chance. This thing checks every box for a creator like me, and it's a powerful little device. But what kinds of future options are possible with a unit like this? Personally, I would love to see video switching with more than one HDMI input, something that goes after the ATEM lineup. Even a few more audio inputs as well that allow multi-person podcasts to have their own video source and audio source. Or how about just a straight up way to interface this with the Rodecaster Pro 2? That might be a little bit more niche, but with that kind of functionality, you're bringing pro-level possibilities to the masses. And I know there are a lot of podcasts that would eat that stuff up, especially as bigger podcasts become more reliant on video. This thing, as with a lot of the products from Rode, seems to set a path for a very bright future for content creators. As we've seen with the Rodecaster Pro 2 though, this might not be the end game unit. The updates will just keep rolling out, and that's super exciting. The only other thing I would love to see on future iterations of this, and this is just me being picky, but some way to see what each smart pad is loaded with. It can be easy to get in the weeds and kind of forget where everything is, especially as you expand and put more and more into different profiles that you can load up. And when you're on the spot in a live stream, it can be kind of tough. You see the Stream Deck with that kind of solution. And while I don't want that for this thing, something though, anything to allow for identification would be amazing. As for ways to make the experience of this unit better, well, really, there's only the one thing that I mentioned earlier. Just include a super speed USB-C to USB-A cable.
The beat at a two, quarter to two, with the rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and the dragons will come and they sound the drum at a minute or two to two today, at a minute or two to two.
So should you buy it? This is a really interesting question for a lot of streamers. And I've heard from a lot of people already that already have a streaming setup going, what's the point? This thing does it all, but is it a replacement for what you already have? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, if you aren't super happy with your setup as it is, then yeah, this thing will be more than a lateral move for you. But realistically, this isn't necessarily aimed at streamers that have already perfected their setup and taken years to tweak all the things. This is for the new streamer or the streamer that wants to upgrade their setup without all the learning curve or the mess that can be associated with it. This is a one-stop streamer setup in a box that will have you up and running within 30 minutes. And for anyone that wants to complain about the pricing, and I've had a few of those comments like this one, let me just say this. This thing replaces an interface, a capture card, and a switcher like the Stream Deck. It does all of that, and it offers these things at well above the average quality like the preamps and the AFX system. Now go price all that stuff out. Then comment again and let me know if you still think the price of this thing is problematic. This was a massive swing for the fences for Rode. Not exactly sure how that analogy translates to Australian rules football, but you get my point. Either way, this is a unicorn on the market, and it will only get better over time, as we've seen Rode do with all of their products. It's a very smart move by them, and I'm super excited to see the possibilities for the future, as Rode again proves that they're one of the few companies that shouldn't stay in their lane. Now, what do you think, though? Is the Streamer X a product that has been a long time coming? And better yet, are you getting one? Let me know down below. Also, stay tuned. There's more from that big Rode announcement coming on this channel. And if you want to see this thing actually live in person in a live stream, check this stream out right here. It's kind of popular. People are watching it.
I am your father.
So there you go. There's a possibility that the Streamer X could do a lot of things for a lot of people, especially with it in our situation. What is the Streamer X?
Is Rode an Australian company?
No, I don't think it is.
Because he mentioned about Australia, I'm like, huh?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's an American though. I don't think he's an Australian. So if you do buy that from Audio Pro,
he must have been talking to us directly.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Yeah, he poured it. I brought him in just to do that. I wish. $485 Australian for one of those, and Rode has some pretty good equipment out there. It certainly solves a lot of problems, or would solve a lot of problems. But it's been out for about 6 months now or more, and there's plenty of reviews out there. It looks really good. Some people say, I want to love it, but the best, yes, but it's missing. The next product you can step up to, Rode do a Rodecaster Duo. It's a podcast device, and it has more inputs. If you connect that up with their software, which you can just download, whether it's on your phone or on the computer, it allows you to do a lot more. You get a lot more out of it, and it's certainly it all once again. How far do you want to go with this? How much do you want to invest?
Well, that's it.
I've have I already spent too much money on this that it's not going to come to anything? Maybe. I probably have, but how many other people have done the same sort of thing? When you I'm still going to use this microphone, the one I paid $50 for. I've seen people go into buy fishing gear. How much does fishing gear cost you? And we nosedive into things that we think's going to work out, and then it doesn't. So yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it will, Miss Austin, and I think what we need to do now, like we all see this stuff and we think, oh, we'd love to have that. It's a bit
Mm.
like you said, gee, with your paintbrushes. You see a paintbrush, you go, oh, gee, I'd like that paintbrush, but you've
Mm.
already got
Mm.
what, a dozen at home that you use.
Yeah, and it's funny when it's a paintbrush, but like the really expensive ones I've got, they do feel different and they do work different. Like they do handle differently. And you think, oh, it's just a wooden or a plastic, handle with a few bristles on the end, but they do work very differently. And I guess this is like with in regards to technology and just mics and setups, like you said, how far do you want to go into it? I've always been into my art and painting and stuff, so I kind of know that the more expensive stuff is actually better quality, and
Yeah,
that goes for most technology as well. You're always going to find stuff that some people might like more or less, but they definitely are gonna you're definitely gonna get better results, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I've committed to this. This is the, with the new microphone, this will be great when
Yeah,
I'm working around stuff. It's what I've been looking for a while, and whether I go any further with it or not, I like to. I always, I like, I suppose, like a lot of people, I like gadgets.
yeah,
I always wanted to be a radio DJ. Um,
yeah, right.
because I like having that, pushing buttons and things like that. And in saying that, I've got I've got this here. This is the ATM
Oh,
ATEM mini.
nice.
So what that allows you to do is plug in other inputs, well, cameras, HDMI inputs. So with this, I can have 4 cameras, um,
Mm,
and it'll be good to get some cheap webcams and have them plugged into this, and I can switch between the different cameras. Um,
yeah,
there's the possibility of it also does audio and stuff like that. So I'll be able to I'll be able to have this audio plugged into that and have the different cameras. So it's all pipe dream. How far I go with it, is up to me really. Um, G'day, Brad. Ahoy, ahoy. We got a new.
hey Brad.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I appreciate it. We're just here talking about different things. Um, if you've just tuned into us, but yeah, it's really amazing
It's funny
where.
that you mentioned that device before because I watched this. It's basically a hobby channel, but they do podcasts and interviews. But they have a device like you've got, and he actually because they do it on YouTube. They do the podcast as well. You can listen to the audio or watch the YouTube. But he uses one of those devices so he can go from each person. He has a camera set up in each person, and then he has a wide shot of like sort of everyone. But yeah, he can use that stuff. So he edits as they're doing the podcast, so it saves time. And yeah, he
Mhm.
uses a device like that so he can go from if someone's talking, the camera will go to them and it'll be on them and stuff. And just yeah, it's devices like that. Although they're going to cost a bit, yeah, they'll save you a lot of time and effort in the long run
Yeah.
when it comes
Well,
to certain things. So
yeah. Once again, that there was second hand. So what did I pay? I think I paid three
yeah,
hundred for that. Um,
nice.
so I have invested a fair bit into this, and like I said, whether it works or not, it's just only time will tell. Will I get my money back? Probably not. You know, if I go to selling stuff, I might do. Yeah, it hasn't actually got sound effects on it, but the Rode Streamer X that we just showed does have sound effects on it. Like the guy, like you saw in the video, the guy could push a button and it can change your voice, and you can adjust those as well. There's a whole heap of stuff that you can do. So I suppose it's not just the device; it's the software that
Yeah.
Rode that comes with it, or you download from Rode, which doesn't cost you anything. So once upon a time, I suppose if you go back, you'd buy this thing and then you'd have to get
The
extra,
software,
software on top, which would cost you money. And now that it seems like, um, you buy this thing, you got all these features that probably most of us won't even use. You know, it's just a gimmick thing. Um, yeah, Miss Austin, it might be, but okay. Here's my advice. Even though I show this product and think it's a great device, I haven't bought one personally. I haven't got my hands on. I've watched quite a few reviews on it. You've got to do your own due diligence and make sure it's going to be what you want for what you do. Um, I can't stress that enough. It'd be nice if we all had unlimited budgets and we could go out and buy this stuff and go from there. But we don't. We just use what we've got, you know. So, and if it works, and I hope it will, you know, when I often look at Facebook Marketplace and see if anything comes up secondhand, you know, because I've seen people who buy things, like I mentioned before, and whatever they're doing doesn't work out for them, or they take a different direction, and um, they sell it off. So there's always that situation, or you can buy it refurbished. Maybe it came out of the factory with a fault. It's been refurbished and it's right to go again. I'm sure it will be, Miss Austin, but I would still do more research on it and make sure it is the thing for you. Um, Everyone's different. It's either, and that's why I'm hesitant. I did before I brought this. I did a lot of research on it and made sure it was going to be what I wanted. The only thing I couldn't do was get my hands on and see what I suppose I could in terms of real life. But the guy who I brought it off, he said if you got any problems, just send me a message and he'd help me out. So there's always someone that'll help you out if you're having trouble. That's for sure. Good old Roger. That's Roger the pirate. That's no worries, Mrs. Austin. That's what we should all do, and that's why we're here. We're here to help each other out. If we're, got an idea or having a problem, it's good to float it with our little community. Of course, we're not always going to agree on everything, and you know, it's just a way of testing the waters. So, if you can, Miss Austin, I'd try and find a place that's doing a um, or get your hands on if you want to go do something like this. Go to somewhere where they're doing an in-store, oh excuse me, in-store demonstration. So let's have a look at my.
I know JB Hi-Fi is quite good for that sort of stuff. Obviously, they don't have that
Yeah,
in America, I'm guessing, but
no, but I'm sure there's going to be something equivalent to JB Hi-Fi
yeah,
for Mrs.
exactly.
Austin to go and look at. Um, next time she's at one of the bigger towns or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Sometimes it's tapping. I've got too much going on here. Um, but yeah, so um, I've been going. We've been going here for about an hour and 45, so I might wrap it up real soon because
Oh, well, that
um,
flew by. I guess
yeah,
you had lunch and stuff during your stream, so that probably took 20 minutes or more to.
yeah, Roger. Yeah, Goodna is in. Did I miss that? Goodna RSL. Yeah, that's in Queensland. It's about probably an hour's drive for me to go to Goodna. That's in the western suburbs of Brisbane, and yeah, so um, yeah, I think I might wrap it up here and say thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate G coming in and joining the stream. It
No worries.
taken time out of his day and his schedule. Looking forward to G's live stream tonight. We should put actually I'll put a link in my community notes for that. Do you use your community notes at all?
I do, but I don't use them as much as I probably should.
Yeah,
Just sometimes
it's
if I'm going to be, if I'm going to be away from YouTube or like, because I do a food channel, I might post some new stuff that I'm going to review soon and stuff like that. But yeah, they're pretty handy.
yeah. What was I going to say? Um, I have no idea. I've just lost it. Um, yeah, no, it's gone. Whatever. I must have been a lie. Um,
What was you going to say, like to let people know when I'm going live and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that? Or
Sorry, that's right. I was talking about the community. It's something. One of the videos I watched recently about just. It's about 12 months old now. I saw something, and they just suggested about using it, and I'm thinking, well, it's there. Why not just use it? And it doesn't have to be a long thing. You can put links to a video, or you can just put a text poll in there, image poll. Um, it's a great. I notice it's not as interactive on the phone as what it is on the computer here. So
yeah, yeah,
if it's another way, I just thought if it's another way of engaging with your audience, or helping your channel um, build up, it's just another tool, and sometimes it only takes a few minutes just to make a post. So why not use it?
yeah.
So
I've
yeah,
noticed that you've done quite a few recently. I did one of those media program channels that we watch on YouTube. They did say as well when you do a new pre-recorded video, put it in your community tab because then if people aren't getting notifications and stuff,
yep,
they
yep,
might see that community tab and know there's, if you say, oh, new video, whatever it may be, it's
mm,
just another way to sort of let people know who may not be getting the notifications and stuff every
yeah.
time and then you can delete it after if you want, after a few days if it's
Mm.
done its purpose.
One one other thing that somebody said is when you upload a video, make it a premiere, so that way
Yeah,
um, people think it's something special, and if it gets you a few more views, then why not? I mean, all you got to do is hit a tab or click a tab or something. Um,
yeah.
it's just
So
something.
when you're uploading your stuff, you can either do private, public, and then or you can do the premiere or whatever.
Yeah, I would. I
Mm.
with your food reviews, I would do premiere if it because it might make the difference of getting a few more views, and if you want to, just it's once again, it's one of those things that's there for the taking. Why not? If it's
Yeah,
there, why not use it, so to speak? So,
and then at least you can interact with your audience. If they have questions about it, you can answer them then and there,
yep,
like sort
yep,
of in real time.
yeah, and like I said to you before, I think you're doing good. Um, you've got good audio so people can hear you and understand you clearly. You're quite expressive with how you describe things. And for me, I haven't seen a lot of people do that. And that's something I don't do. If I have a cup of tea, I'd have a cup of tea. Oh yeah, that tastes nice. Or no, it's not tasting the way I want it. You
Yeah, yeah.
you articulate yourself very, very clearly, and that's really good. And I think if you keep, to me, this is just me. If you keep going like that, I think it'll be great. You'll slowly, like my subscriber base. I think I'm up to 452 now, and that's just
Yeah, no,
slowly growing
I'm super
steadily. And
impressed of how your
I'm
channel's grown over the last,
yeah,
few, half a year, even less than that.
and the inspiration is seriously, the inspiration has come from you guys, watching what you guys do and watching what other people do. And sometimes it's not watching the content I'm interested in. I go and watch other
Mm.
people's content that's totally unrelated because they might do something different or do something different. In fact, it was one of those videos that said about doing the premiere. Somebody, it was only a short 30-second thing where he said, "Oh, while you're going, make it a premiere." And I thought, "Wow, okay, right, let's do that." And the more, the more I do this, like I said, once the shed goes up and things settle down here now, I'll
Mm.
start doing more. I'm just doing more and more, which I know you're seeing, and I'm sure other people are seeing. Whether you interact with that or not, I'm not. I don't expect you to interact, but it's nice if you do, and it's just it's not a. I don't know. It's probably partly a dopamine. Oh, look, somebody looked at it. Somebody voted on it. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
but it's just going okay then. But it's also people are actually looking at what you're doing, and whether they're interested in it like I am or not is totally irrelevant.
And it's good to get feedback either way, like I appreciate what you were saying about my content before, but I know it's not really content you necessarily engage in often. But yeah, it's just we can all learn from each other with all our different passions, which we have been doing for a while now, and we've all been. I feel like we've all grown together, but
Yep.
also separately. You like your channel, like we were saying before, your channel sort of seems to be flying up with like the other day when I came on, I didn't know you was live. I've sorted out the notification problem with your channel. I had to unsubscribe and resubscribe and
Oh
just
yeah.
it
Yep.
was as simple as that, but
Yeah.
I did it earlier. I did it earlier, funny enough, and it let me highlight all of the notifications, which was, I was trying to problem solve it, and I just thought, oh, I wonder if I unsub and resub if it worked, and it did. But
That's
yeah, I saw
actually
you live the other day, and you had quite a lot of people watching, which I was thought was fantastic.
which one was that?
That was the one when you had your friend Emma on, I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. From Emma's small machine shop. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, like and you had
Emma's.
quite a few people on, and I'm like, this is great to see. You
Yeah,
just doing
yeah.
what you
That's right.
do.
That was good. That was a lot of fun. Emma's a really
Mm,
knowledgeable person, and
mm,
she does sign writing. She's does it as a she's been doing it as a side hobby, but she's taking it on a bit more, um,
yeah,
going to do commission work like yourself. And
that's
she
great.
also owns a steamroller as well. She brought hers already running, and yeah, the chat's going really really fast here at the moment. Um, um, yeah, yeah, that's it. Robbo Five Life, Roger, for you and Robbo Five Life, I highly recommend you guys getting one of these microphones, these Rode Wireless Go microphones, to improve your audio. It'll just make your reviews of your products, the drinks you have, whatever you're doing, so much better. Um, it just it'll just make it out of this world. You guys are doing a great thing. I think it's good. It's short to the point, and you have a bit of a banter sometimes between you guys, but definitely improve your audio. It's definitely worthwhile investment.
What I thought with Roger's and Robbo's last video, I feel like Roger doing live streams, his personalities came out more on his pre-recorded videos now. The last one, he was just making me laugh, and it was just the Roger we all know and love. But it just shows you all these little bits and pieces we're doing, even not spending money and just interacting and doing live streams, which technically, Wi-Fi and all the rest of it, you bit of money, but you're not really spending money, but you're getting so much from it, just learning how to talk to and engage with your audience and the
Yeah,
rest of it, which
yeah.
has really shown in, I feel like, probably all of our content and all of our, interaction between each other.
Mm. Well, one thing I'll say to Roger, you don't have to pay for Restream. I know G and I do,
Mm.
but there is a free version which you can use that doesn't cost you or Roger 5 Live anything. I would sign up for that and maybe give it a go.
Yeah.
But yeah. So no point in me preaching. However, I have mic issues I need to solve, but more acoustic guitar. Brad, are you getting? What's the go? Are you getting too much feedback, or is it too loud, or you know? Um, yeah.
I remember we spoke to Brad on a live stream a bit before, and he's quite knowledgeable when it comes to audio devices and stuff like that.
Yeah, is Brad on Discord? In the Discord?
I'm not sure. I can quickly chuck up the Discord link if he wants to join, so we can.
Well, look, Brad, um, be really, really interested to hear your input on things. Seeing you do guitars and things like that, I'm sure it could help all of us, and that's what we're here to do, to help each other. Uh, well, Roger, you really don't. You guys can keep doing what you're doing. It's good. Um, I think my number one suggestion for you guys is to improve your audio, get that going better. Now the Rode does a couple of different versions of this. The latest one is the Pro version. This is the Wireless Go 2. There's the Wireless Go, and then there's the Wireless Me. It's a little bit confusing, but there are cheaper alternatives. Rode's not the only one that do microphones like this. They also there's DJI. There's quite a few others. So it's just yeah, Miss Austin, I totally understand, and we've all been nervous. But the more I've been doing this with you guys, I have taken inspiration from you guys. It's helped out a lot. When I first started, you saw when I first started back on this live stream. Just today, I was a bit slow in getting going, but now I've relaxed more. I've been interacting with G. G's really helped me relax a bit, and we're just starting to talk. Um,
Would
you
you
know,
feel with a friend?
yeah, and just go, okay, we're talking on similar topics, and we're learning something as we go. So what's Brad's go? Bear with me because I'm solving issues, so I'm not that in the know. I'm more sending clear line between pickup and mic. Right, it's not easy. I'm speaking into a mic. Right, okay, fair enough, man. All good, man. But certainly be interested to learn what you learn. Um, you know, um, maybe we can do another show one day and get this a bit more organised and have a few more people on there and just talk about stuff each other may not know about and learn a bit more. So, but oh look, we've only got 2 minutes left. Let's make it to we'll go the 2 hours, and I can't do 3. I just can't do it.
Well, no, that's there's normally the 1 hour. That's the struggle mark.
Yeah.
If no
No,
one gets on here, I'm going to leave.
I thought, Roger. I thought, no, there's no football on at the moment. No, it's all cricket at the moment, isn't it? I'm waiting for Formula One to come back on, but if anyone's in the Formula One scene, they would have known that the team principal for Haas has been replaced by someone else. Now, he's a bit an interesting character. If you look up team principal for Haas, what's his name? He's Italian, but he talks. I think he talks with a German accent, fairly heavy German accent. And the new series of F1 Drive to Survive will be coming out soon, hopefully on Netflix. That's a good series to watch if you have, if you're not even related in watching Formula One. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about it. But F1 Drive to Survive, it's a really good series on. It shows you the behind the scenes and what goes on with the various teams and the personalities and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I highly recommend go watch it. There we go. That's for Mrs. Austin. Look at audio interfaces, maybe a 2 input. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, it's a great show, Miss Austin. Hopefully the new season is coming out soon. It usually, because F1 will start here in March, and they usually screen Drive to Survive, I think, in February, end of February, I think. So, cool. So yeah, look, I'm going to wrap it up at that. We've gone the 2 hour mark. I appreciate G and everyone coming in for the live stream this afternoon. It was totally off the cuff. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to going live with G tonight on his channel, Funk and Hungry. Is that right, G? Or are you doing hyper? Or are you going to do both?
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be one of those multi-streams where I'll just put it on. But yeah, Funk and Hungry, if you join us there,
Yep,
that'll be
we'll
great.
certainly be joining in from 8 o'clock. Australian Eastern Daylight Time?
Yeah,
Yep. So that'll be about 3 in the morning for Mrs. Austin or anyone else in North America. But 8 o'clock for 7:30, and say Adelaide for or 7 o'clock in New South Wales, wherever, something like that. But yeah, I'll put it in my community notes, and yeah, I think that's it.
All right, take care, everyone.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. It's been great to catch up, and we'll see you tonight. Good night, Australia.